All right. So what is remaining on, did you see that we made the changes we made the 3 bullet points, the 1 big box? I think we made all of the changes that you wanted on that page.
I did not yet. I'll have to go take a look at that.
Okay. Yeah, go check it and then let us know if there's anything else you need us to do.
Okay. Let's see. Make the change on that page. So I need to hook up the autoresponders from Aweber, get them loaded and timed.
I mean, we should be good.
And then we just have to clone the other pages.
Yeah, so double check, make sure the changes are the way you want them, and then send us what's left, and we'll do it.
All right. Send them to you, send them to Laura, or someone else, or
send them to me.
Okay, I'll send them to you. And I got with Laura yesterday. I think she made a good suggestion, just a minor tweak to the script for Dennis Hoff.
Okay.
So I think we're good to go to get started with that one.
Awesome.
And I haven't heard from Brent, so I don't know where we are with that. I haven't heard.
His videos are done.
Okay.
Yeah, he had asked Laura he wanted 3 different endings, and asked Laura to make some changes. She made them. They're done. I'm actually here. You know what? I'll show it to you right now.
Okay, cool.
Let's see here. I will take my headset off so that you can hear it. All right. Can you see the video screen? It should look blank.
It is blank.
Okay, here we go.
Have you heard the buzz about real water? Scientists claim it can't be done. What, you ask? Stable negative ions. Negative what? Negative ions. This may be one of the most important discoveries of this century. Let me explain. You see, drinking good water is one of the most important things you can do for your body's health. But what water is best for you and your family? Spring, purified, alkalized, tap? The problem today is that many drinking waters are stripped of valuable electrons and become acidic during the filtration process. This results in positively charged molecules called oxidative free radicals. These free radicals travel through our bodies and steal away electrons from our cells. This is called free radical damage and is a major contributor to many health conditions. Think of rust on your car. Free radicals operate in a similar manner in our bodies. They slowly zap our cells of life force, stealing valuable electrons. But it doesn't have to be that way. The E2 electron-energized technology adds trillions and trillions of electrons, with the result being the stable negative ionization. These negative ions act with antioxidant properties to neutralize free radicals. And as an important added benefit, these negative ionized molecules are better accepted through our cell wall aquaporins, the vital channels that usher in water and cellular nutrients. The result is increased cellular hydration. Here's the important part. Real Water owns the rights to this amazing proprietary scientific discovery, the E2 technology. With Real Water, you will help your body neutralize free radicals and help with cellular hydration. But the best part is, it tastes great. You will taste and feel this difference. Go beyond alkalinity with Real Water. Look for us in your local store or go to drinkrealwater.com for more information.
That would be the video.
All right. I still don't understand 90% of what he's talking about, but
that's all right. He does.
Yeah, he does, and I guess his customers do. They know what all these free radicals are.
Yes, apparently free radicals are bad. I got that. They're bad, yeah. And that we want positive stuff.
Every time I hear it, I think it's something from the 1968 political conventions or something.
I could understand why. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You are the only one here today for whatever reason. So I'm going to show you something that we've been doing for Jill. Even though she's not here, she can watch the recording, and then we can answer any other questions you got, and we'll be done early.
All right. Cool.
All right. So one of the first things we do, Jill, congratulations. Jill hired us to do her Facebook ad, to start with doing her Facebook ads for her. So one of the first things that we look at, let me share my screen again, is she has a fan base already. They've got 5,683 fans. So they're not starting from scratch. Now, one of the things we look at is, there's Charlene. One of the things we look at is engagement. So when you make a post, how many people actually interact with it? So for example, Ron, they post midweek motivation, 199 people saw it, 1 person liked it. So that is like 0.5% in terms of engagement. Now this one did a lot better. This one, we're having an alumni training session this week. This one got 844 people to see it, but only 1, 2, 3 people liked it. So again, a whole lot of these are, in terms of engagement, not enough people are, one, not enough people see them, and two, if you have 5,700 followers and only 3 people like something, that's like crickets.
Right.
So the first thing we did was we ran a Facebook ad campaign to get more engagement. So we took one of their posts. We ran an engagement campaign to their existing fans. We got 115 people to engage with it at a cost of 17 cents each. And the best part is, if we then go and see how many people, we got 115 people liked, shared, or commented. 212 clicked the link and went to the website, which is a click-through rate of 6.5%, which on Facebook, anything from like 1 to 3% is considered good. So this is double to 6 times good. So we're way ahead of the curve. Her cost for those 212 people to click is actually only 9 cents a pop.
Cool.
So we are off to a great start, spending a whopping, $20. We're going to start engaging multiple posts, obviously, to get more and more people interacting on her page. And then, of course, the next one is going to be her doodle animation video. We've got retargeting pixels up on her site so that we'll be able to retarget everybody who hits her site. We'll also be able to retarget everybody depending on how many seconds in the video they watch. So this is something you want to make sure you do, because just posting isn't enough. Facebook makes you pay to play, and on average, 90% of the fans on your page won't even see your Facebook post unless you pay for it, unless you do an engagement campaign. So whether you're doing this yourself or doing this with us, make sure you get your engagement up so that more people get to interact with your messages and your videos so that you make more sales.
Hey, Seth. Good
Yep.
morning.
Good morning.
Do you do anything on LinkedIn? Because I have such a huge, a lot going on LinkedIn in groups and all the people that I interact with.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you some cool LinkedIn stuff. All right, so you may or may not be aware of this, but LinkedIn is not a social network. LinkedIn is also an advertising agency.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go jump in our ads, and I'm going to show you a really cool new thing that has been added, in the last few months. LinkedIn will allow you to pay LinkedIn to send a LinkedIn message to anybody you want. So it is an email that comes from LinkedIn, so the deliverability rate is 100%. It never goes to spam. And because it's coming from LinkedIn and the market isn't saturated yet, nobody's really doing it yet, the open rates are incredible. So let me show you, for example. All right, so this is one I did for a physical event, my mastermind group. The way LinkedIn Mail works is you pay to send it. You pay per person you send it to. So I sent it to 100 people, 60 opened it.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is cold traffic. These are people who don't know who I am on LinkedIn, who aren't connected to me in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If I could get 60% open rate on my warm email list that you guys are on, I could retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is, tell me more. So what did that
Okay.
cost and what came out of it?
Okay, I spent $50. So it cost me about 50 cents per person we sent it to. We got quite a few opt-ins. We got 5 or 6 people to attend the actual event. So like a 6 conversion rate on a cold email, completely cold, I will take all day long.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I'd prefer to go that direction than Facebook because I'm in business. So I don't really want to I have a lot more influence over there.
Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. So you in LinkedIn ads, it's called a sponsored in-mail campaign.
Okay.
That's what it's called. There's 3 different choices you can use, 3 different ways to advertise on LinkedIn. This is a sponsored in-mail. You can, as you'll see, you can split test. You can split test subject lines. You can split test body copy. You can split test images. You can split test call to actions, whatever you want to do.
Uh-huh.
I will show you. I'm going to duplicate it just so that you can see what it looks like. Here, we'll just call it test. Okay, so here's my subject line is save the date. Are you free on Friday the 17th? I'll be conducting a local marketing seminar. You'll learn how to get 10,000 fans to your Facebook page. You'll learn how to send LinkedIn messages like this. If you'll join us, text me and know if you want to attend, blah, 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 and a link to my website in case they want to learn more.
Okay, awesome.
So
and that's all it was?
That's it.
So you don't even have to really have funnels with fancy pictures and stuff. You could just.
You don't. I had people text me, or you could just drive them to your website. You could use it to drive them to your funnel, but this was a local physical event. So I just said, just shoot me a text.
Nice. And so all those people texted you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that would be awesome.
Yes, because I can text them back. So let me show you how the targeting stuff. So LinkedIn's targeting platform, I can go all the way down to like the region. I can go city. I can go state. I can go country. The really cool thing is how I can target. I can target a specific company. So if let's say if they have 10 employees, it's not going to work. But if I wanted to go after Lockheed Martin in Orlando, Florida, that has 5,000 employees in Orlando, I could hit everybody at Lockheed. I can go by industry. I can go by size. I can go by job title. I can go by what college they went to. I can go by what skills are on their LinkedIn profile, gender, age, years of experience. Or my favorite part is I can target by group. So LinkedIn has 1 million billion groups that you're probably in for networking purposes. Normally, if I wanted, like I'm in a bunch of groups for financial advisors that have like hundreds of thousands of financial advisors or members of that industry association group. If I wanted to advertise to those people, I would have to go to the group admin, ask to pay, ask if they accepted advertising, pay a couple grand or however much they wanted, and they would put out a post with, endorsing me. Okay. This way, if I go to member groups and pick any group I want, I don't have to ask anybody for permission, and I only have to pay the cost per sending a LinkedIn mail, and I can decide what my budget is. You see, I spent $50. So for example, if I go in LinkedIn and jump into, let's go find my groups. I'm going to go jump in some go look at my groups. Okay, so for example, oh wait, this is all right, my groups. I am in, let's go look at marketing and networking for business professionals and doctors. There are 85,044 members of this group who are business professionals or doctors who want to network. I can then go run an ad to everybody in that specific group for pennies.
Wow. So why would we do Facebook instead of LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is a lot more money than Facebook.
Okay.
So for example, let me go back. Where was my campaign? Okay, so I'm just going to say cancel because I already did it. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So for example, I paid 50 cents per email I sent.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I did so you saw Jill's Facebook marketing campaign that reached 1,919 people. If I was paying the same price, 1,919 people times 0.50 cents, I would have paid $959.50 for that campaign on LinkedIn.
I see.
Now, it might have been worth it depending on what the conversion rate was and how much they paid me. But LinkedIn is geometric because it's more because it's B2B and because of the targeting stuff you can do. LinkedIn feels they can charge a whole lot more, which is true. I paid $50 instead of, I mean, the same Facebook campaign that I paid $18 for would have cost almost $1,000 on LinkedIn.
Mm.
So I would never run an engagement campaign on LinkedIn to get people to comment on my LinkedIn post, which you can do. It would cost too much.
Yeah.
But if I have a direct call to action where I'm going to turn that into money and it's worth it to me, I will send it.
Okay.
The other
All
thing
right.
to know about LinkedIn is that it's a message coming from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you would not send a lengthy 5 pages worth of email Dan Kennedy hype copy because they won't read it. It's a message they're getting on LinkedIn. Some people don't check their LinkedIn. I mean, people check Facebook 8 times a day. I've had people apply to a LinkedIn campaign, and it was from a month ago. And they're like, I'm so sorry, I don't check LinkedIn that often. I just noticed I got this message from you.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it takes longer because people aren't on LinkedIn 8 times a day like they are on Facebook.
Okay.
And it's coming from LinkedIn, so they think it's a LinkedIn message, so they're not expecting a 7-page sales letter. It's something that what we found works best is if you send a message like you were literally sending it to one person on LinkedIn, like, hey, can you come to this? Hey, did you see a copy of hey, I want to send you a copy of my book. Like something that's short and not over the top hypey works better than long form sales copy.
Okay.
Once we get them to click or interact, I can take them to a sales page that's all day long. But to get them to interact with the LinkedIn message, it's got to be like something an individual person would send them.
So why would you not send it on Messenger then? On LinkedIn's Messenger.
Okay, so I can't pay.
Oh, you can't because it's from LinkedIn.
Right, you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't
Got
go
it.
message 85,000 people one at a time in a LinkedIn group. I'd have
Got
to be
it.
connected to every single one of them and do it one at a time. And if you send more than like 20 in a day, in one-on-one, LinkedIn will say, hey, are you spamming people?
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm not paying them. If I pay them, they'll send 100,000 messages in one day if I give them enough money.
Yeah, got it.
They don't want me doing it to too many people for free because they're not making any money.
I get it. Okay. So you would actually test something on Facebook before you put it on LinkedIn?
We do. We always test on Facebook first. If your target market is on Facebook, and both of yours are, we would test on Facebook first because it's faster and cheaper. And then once we had once we had run a couple dozen split tests and had something that was working that had the highest click-through rate, then I'd run it on LinkedIn. I don't want to split test 20 different things on LinkedIn because it'll cost me way too much.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you for that.
I'd rather split test for $18 than $1,000.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Great question. So that hopefully answers your LinkedIn question. We showed you an example. We showed you Brent's new video. We went over Jill's engagement campaign and how that's working and why you should do it. Any other questions?
What's the time frame? So Seth, I'm a real hands-on person when it comes to like speaking, and my new book is out now, and you know, I'm kind of going back and forth because I have one coach that says just do speaking engagements, don't do anything else. Then I have another coach that's saying, oh, you got to launch your book online and you should do funnels. It's 2 different trains of thought. So what do you, I know you're all about online, but you do speaking also, right?
I speak a couple times every month.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, we're not just all about online. We do a lot of direct mail, believe it or not. It tends to work very well because not enough people do direct mail anymore. And obviously I speak a lot. So I wouldn't say do one or the other. I'd say do both. Speaking is a great way to fill your funnel. Speaking is a great way to sell from stage and sell at the back of the room. So I do both. We drive online traffic every single day. We send direct mail to our prospects all the time. And I speak all the time to get new people that might not necessarily, it's a different dynamic. The last two events I spoke at were the T-Rex e-commerce in San Diego and the Kevin Harrington's Mastermind Investment Club in Tampa. And I had people lined up to talk to me. It's a different dynamic if I'm on stage and someone just says, Seth is the best, you should hire him yesterday, than if they see a Facebook ad that says the same thing. So I would have as many ways in to the funnel as humanly possible.
So when you do a direct mail campaign, what does that run financially? What do you figure? And is it targeted specifically?
Yeah, I would never send untargeted direct mail because why would I want to spam someone in their mail?
How do you know who to send it to?
Who's your target market?
But I mean, yeah, I know who my target market is.
I would
but
buy.
How do you know in the mail, when you're doing mail, that you're getting to those people?
I would get a list of my target market and mail to them. So, for example, if my target market is financial advisors, I can go rent a list. I can go rent a subscription list of Financial Advisor Monthly Magazine or Worth Investment News or whatever, and send a multi-step direct mail piece to drive them to an offer.
Okay.
And what does it run depends. I mean, we've done campaigns that literally the cost was, it was printed in their offices. It was a sales letter in an envelope with a stamp on it. So the cost was paper, ink, and 49 cents in postage per person. And they've sent them to a couple hundred people. So maybe they spend $150. And then we've done campaigns that mailed hundreds of thousands of pieces from a mail house, from a fulfillment center. And it was multi-step and lumpy mail, which obviously costs more, but gets a greater response rate.
So just a letter doesn't get much, or they just throw it away?
If you write the right letter to the right people, it works.
Okay.
But
you have to get them to open it. If they're like me, they just put it in the recycle.
So there's three different ways to do that. So option one is sneak up mail, where it's in a regular number 10 envelope. The address is handwritten. The return address doesn't have your company name on it. It just has an address and a live stamp. So it looks like someone physically mailed them a letter. That works really well. There is also blatant commercial mail where you use the entire envelope as copy.
Oh.
Print on the front and back of an envelope.
Uh-huh.
So print on it with your marketing message to get them to open it.
Okay.
And then number 3 is lumpy mail. So they are an increasing order of expense. So sneak up mail is the cheapest. Printing all over the envelope will cost you a little bit more, and lumpy mail will cost you the most. Depending on your target market, I mean, you would start with the cheapest one to test it and then go up as you make money. But I mean, you could mail 100 people for $50.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, all you need is one to buy, and you more than made your money. I mean, you might have made $5,000.
Mm-hmm. So, Seth, when I do my doodle, one of the biggest challenges that I'm finding with entrepreneurs who need to sell their products is that they don't have the programs they need in order to sell. So how do you combine those two things in a doodle?
Well, we mapped out a little bit of your funnel last time.
Right.
So my question would be, you don't want to do too many things in one thing. So perhaps the doodle video is to get them to get the book because it's the lowest barrier to entry. And then the book comes in a shock and awe box that sells them on why they should do the next step with you. We had talked about the strategy session.
Yeah.
And then that selling, too expensive.
Okay. I get it.
A confused mind does not buy, says Dan Kennedy. If you give them too many options, they won't do anything.
It's exactly what I tell my people.
Follow your own advice.
Yes. Thank you for that. I needed that at what, 8:15 this
That
morning.
is my gentle smack upside the head.
High five, Seth.
Seth, what about you? Back to direct mail. Have you had any success doing any kind of postcard campaigns?
So what we always do multi-step. And we will usually do, if we're doing a lower budget campaign, we'll start with a postcard and then do 2 letters after that. And then if I can do lumpy mail, I'll do postcard, letter, lumpy mail. And if I can do postcard, lumpy mail, because we got the budget, I will. The postcard is usually our first step to clean the list. So because not every name on every list will be accurate, because people move, people die, we will send a postcard first because it's the cheapest way to find out if the address is right, because the wrong ones will come back. So we'll send a postcard first, not expecting a tremendous response rate on the postcard, but just to make sure that, okay, if 20% of the list is inaccurate, we want to scrub them cheap so that when we send a letter or lumpy mail, we're not mailing to people who aren't going to get it.
And is the postcard and offline driving people online to our landing page?
Yes.
Where the doodle's going to be?
Yeah, we always take that, we start offline, drive them to online, and then hopefully get them to give us enough information that we can then follow up online, whether it's because they got a book or they got an ebook or something. We'll say, hey, we'll mail it to you so that we can get their snail mail address and then send them shock and awe and send them all kinds of stuff, because their email address may change, but they only move an average of every 7 years in their physical house.
And if our objective is simply to get people to go to the landing page and give us their email address, is there a reason to go from postcard to letter to lumpy mail, or would it be better just 3 different types of postcards?
It depends on what your back end is. So it depends on what they're buying. If you have metrics and you know your numbers and they're buying a high enough ticket item somewhere in your funnel, then doing the higher end direct mail pieces may be worth it. If we don't know if this is our first test, then I would start with multiple postcards.
Okay. Got it.
But as Dan says, if you're selling something with a decent transaction value, direct mail is salesmanship in print. So think about, you had a guy going door to door, and you're at your client's potential office, let's say, and he says, sure, come on in and tell me what you got. Does your guy say, do you want your salesperson to say, oh, no, I'll only take 15 seconds of your time and then I'll leave? Or if the guy says, no, keep talking, do you want him to take hours if he's got hours? I would rather get my guy to sit there and keep talking as long as possible until he gets a sale.
Mm-hmm.
And if you send a postcard every time, it takes, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute to read it? But if the guy's interested, why not send a 6, 12, whatever page sales letter and give him the opportunity to learn more about you? Because if it's interesting enough, he'll keep reading. I am on the receiving end of what I think is one of the most brilliant offline marketing funnels I've ever seen. It's all offline. I think it's for a cult, but I'm not sure. I got where is it? The first thing I got was a 14-page sales letter.
Wow.
Single space, double-sided. The 14-page sales letter sells me on mailing back this request form that is free to get a 50-page sales letter. It's their booklet telling me more. So I mail it back. I get a 50-page booklet sales letter that sells me on why I should give them $120 to buy a book, which is their manuscript of The Secrets of the Universe. I give them the $126 because it's freaking brilliant, and I want to see what's next. The book is 1,200 pages long.
Wow.
The postman was like, I know you guys get a lot of crazy shit in the mail, but what the hell is this? I read the entire book. After a couple weeks after you get the book, you get another sales letter saying, congratulations, you're in the secret society. Fax this back within 20 fax it back in 24 hours or you can't get in. No money, just fax it back and say you're in. I fax it back, I send it in. I fax it back. They send a sales letter that's about 8 pages long saying, congratulations, you're in. We're going, You have to get 3 more packages from us before you can attend a live in-person meeting. We're going to send you 3 more packages. You just have to cover our costs. They are also large. I don't know what they are yet, but it's a, hey, if you want the first package, fax this form back with your credit card information for whatever amount of money it is, and we'll send it to you. So I fax it back, and I am now waiting for what I'm assuming is like book number 2. So I got to go through.
How was book number 1?
I am praying there is actually a cult behind this, because I want to join. Like, send me the Kool-Aid, I will drink it.
I love it.
Or it's either a cult or the most brilliant marketing I have ever seen, or both. So the book was awesome. It covers, in 1,200 pages, you can talk about a lot. So it covers health, wealth, stress, business, politics, like the 12 areas of life of the world, and what their philosophy is on how these should be done differently. So the business stuff was amazing. I've applied some of it already to our company, and everybody in my team is really excited about it. Like, wow. I'll share with you some of them, but I'll have to kill you later. So one of the ideas was that every person within your company should be an entrepreneur running their own mini company, and have a share in the profits of that division, which would incentivize them even more. So yes. Bruce will be running the copywriting division, and we will sell copywriting as a separate service, which we've never done before.
Okay.
Or we'll be running the video division, which that's how you guys got here. So we're good there. Tayton and Mikan will be running podcasting. It will be a separate service. So, I mean, we're going to have, each service is going to be a separate division that people can buy for, and that our people are responsible for managing all the operations of each one.
Great idea.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to do that. The political stuff I thought was really interesting. So it's a novel where this 3rd grade teacher teaches her kids all 12 of these things. And then you follow these kids through the rest of their lives and see how they change the world. And that's
wow.
how you learn what the philosophy is. So the political aspect is that the kid that in her class that's excited about politics that she teaches ends up becoming president of the United States. And the political philosophy is government should only protect you. So that means all you need are police, fire, EMT, and a court system. Government should not do any social programs. They should all be privatized. They should be run by companies that can do it a lot better with a lot less waste. So he abolishes the government and sells off Social Security, sells off Medicare, sells off everything to private companies except for the protection department. He sells everything off, and the trillions of dollars they make, they pay off all the national debt. The economy skyrockets. All the people who used to work for the departments go work for the companies. The companies are more profitable, so the economy skyrockets. It's really cool stuff.
Who is this?
I don't know.
You don't even know?
It's the Society.
The Society.
There's no website. There's nothing on Google. I tried to find it. It's all offline.
And does it say anything about pharmaceuticals and health and how they've taken over?
Yep. There's a section that revolutionizes diet. There's a section that revolutionizes the FDA and the medical. They abolished the FDA and the medical industry and all kinds of stuff.
Wow. Interesting.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And there's nothing online.
No, I tried.
Wow.
Which is really smart, because if you found it there, it changes the sales process.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Because they're competing in a vacuum. No one else is direct mailing me about joining a cult, or whatever it is. It may not be a cult. I may be wrong. It may be the world's best membership site. I don't know.
And they do nothing online, so that's really interesting.
There's no way to discount it. There's no way to jump ahead. The only research I could find was the first book, because I don't know the titles of the rest of them if there are more. The first book is registered with the Library of Congress because it's copyrighted, and they've sold 250,000 copies.
Wow.
all via direct mail. And it's 1,200 pages, so you're not grabbing it off the shelf at Barnes & Noble, and you're not thinking, and it says in the letter, when you get to qualify to send the money in to buy the book, they tell you it's 1,200 pages. So if you don't read, you're not buying it.
Yeah.
And it's 126 some odd dollars, so you do 250,000 times 100 some odd dollars a book, and they're making some good money.
Yeah.
Now,
I kind of like the whole idea.
I'm going to teach this in my master. I know we're over on time, but you brought it. I got to keep telling you. So I'm going to teach this in my mastermind group coming up, because the other cool thing they did that blows my mind. Do you guys know what variable data printing is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? You can mail merge a letter and it says Dear Seth instead of Dear Occupant. That's called variable data printing. You can put your name on a t-shirt. Okay. So they somehow did it with the book, even though it's 1,200 pages.
Oh, wow.
And they did it in a principle from being a magician. There's something when you are trying to read someone's mind, when you're trying to be a magician and pretend you're psychic. There's a principle called a near miss. Whereas if I say, think of a number 1 to 100, three people are on the call. I say, everybody think of a number 1 to 100, and I get all three exactly right. You start thinking, there's got to be a trick to that. But if I get 2 of them right, and Miss Shirlene's, like, she was thinking of 95, and I guess like a 91. You're like, wait a minute, you believe it because I was human and I missed. You can't be too perfect in magic, otherwise people start thinking, how did he do it?
Yeah.
So in the book, and I don't know anyone else in because I'm not in yet, so I can't test this, but my belief is they made the story take place in Cheektowaga, which is a suburb 15 minutes from me. The school that she teaches at is a real elementary school.
Wow.
Now, the articles that get written about the 3rd grade class and the controversy and what's going on are written in the Buffalo News. Now, either, which I do not believe, magically this thing actually took place here, which I don't think it did, because they did 250,000 sales, or they looked up where I am and did a near miss because they knew if they put Williamsville, people would go, oh my God, this is a setup. Everyone would go, there's no way. But because it's close enough that I get goosebumps, but because they didn't get it exactly right, I guarantee you that like 249,999 people didn't put it together because they're not in marketing. They think, oh my God, that's right near me. This is amazing. They don't think, wait a second, how did they pull that off? They changed every book. So I'll show you guys next week. I'll bring it in.
So that would mean they'd have to change the book every time they had it printed.
Right.
So, okay.
Now, I don't know if they're batching them together. I don't know if they're direct mailing, let's say 500 people, they know, and then printing 50 different, because if you can't variable data print one book at a time, the cost would be way too much money. So I'm wondering if they mail enough so they know, and they know we're going to print 100 books, and then it's affordable.
Maybe everybody that they mail it to in your area.
They could also target, right. They could also say, we'll mail to everybody in the greater Western New York area because Cheektowaga is close enough that it'll hit with all of them.
Right.
I don't know. I would love to be on the inside and see, but I'm not in yet, so I'm waiting for my next package. I haven't been in a meeting. I can't Google the guy and ask him any questions.
Wow. Have you Googled online to see if anybody else is in the society?
The only thing I could find is there was one thing on Ripoff Report, and the Ripoff Report, you ready for this? They didn't rip him off. It says his complaint was he got the letter, he sent in for the 50-page booklet, he got it, he didn't buy the book, and they mailed him 2 more times.
That was his problem?
He's mad that they followed up with him. I said, that's not a ripoff. You didn't give him any money.
That's funny.
But on Ripoff Report, you're anonymous, so I can't call that. I mean, and he didn't get the book anyway, so he doesn't know if it's printed differently because he didn't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Wow. So, that sounds like a really good way to go.
Yeah, it's really cool. I apologize. I've actually got to get in my car and get to a meeting.
Not a problem.
But I will send you guys the recording. I will bring in the book. I will bring in all the stuff from them next week, and I will see you guys in a week.
Okay.
See you, Seth.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yep.